now we're finding out maybe the best NBA trainer in the absolute business would like to train Caitlin Clark this offseason.
With a major story. So it looked like famed NBA trainer Chris Brickley has broken his silence about Caitlin Clark and potentially working with her to make a healthy recovery.
Caitlin Clark recently did something that has her competitors are trembling. She has been seen assisting Chris Brickley, the renowned NBA trainer who has retained LeBron, Kevin Durant, and James performing up until their late 30s at high levels. Following a injury-plagued season, Clark is enhancing her training in methods that never seen by the WNBA. Her competitors are superior. She is returning, so be concerned. Distinct. Do you believe that collaborating with a top NBA team, Caitlin Clark's trainer unfairly, an edge over other players in the WNBA?
This is what I like to hear. This is what I like to hear. I'm all in. I'm all in on this move. I've been saying I want to see Caitlin Clark train with some new higher level elite training. I want her to get the hell away from Indiana as far as training. I don't want her practicing with Stephanie White. I don't want her working with the Indiana Fever training staff, even though they're getting a new senior advisor and all that. I don't want none of that. I think there's a few things that Caitlin, if she add these few things to her bag, she's definitely unstoppable. Chris Brickley, legendary NBA trainer, working with the likes of Carmelo Anthony. When y'all saw Carmelo Anthony lose all that weight and get in shape, Hoodie Melo, he worked with Carmelo Anthony, Jimmy Butler, Donovan Mitchell, Trae Young, LeBron James.
This is what I enjoy hearing. This is what I like to listen to. I'm totally on board. I'm totally focused on this action. I've expressed my desire to see Caitlin Clark work out with some fresh, superior elite training. I desire her to leave Indiana as quickly as possible. As instruction, well, I don't want her working out with Stephanie White. I don't desire for her to join the Indiana Fever, training employees despite the fact that they're acquiring a new senior advisor, etc. None of that is what I desire. I believe, Caitlin, there are a few things that she packed a few items in her backpack. She is unstoppable, no doubt about it. The famed NBA trainer Chris Brickley, collaborating with people like Carmelo Anthony. When did you guys see Carmelo Anthony drop those pounds and get in form? Hoodie Melo, with whom he collaborated. Donovan, Jimmy Butler, and Carmelo Anthony. Mitchell, LeBron James, Trae Young.
That specific team.
Yes.
So
yeah. You just called it.
Sometimes
some teams are like, no,
they've got
you need to be with me a year for the first 3 years. This is happening with me and Caitlin Clark. So Caitlin Clark finished her rookie season. We've been talking for a few years, and
you worked with Caitlin Clark.
So we were going to work last summer, but I was gonna have to go to Indianapolis. And I respect it. Like when you're young on your team, you work.
Christopher Brickley's interest in Caitlin Clark's off-season training is the type of news that ought to sleep is being lost by WNBA players. For individuals who, I have no idea who Brickley is, so let me teach you quickly. This man is one among the most reputable personal trainers in the game of basketball. Nor simply good, nor just renowned, but actually one of the greatest in the whole company. His list of clients resembles a hall of list of celebrities. Kevin Durant, LeBron James, numerous NBA players, including Carmelo Anthony. Legends have put their faith in him, bodies as well as their professions. He now desires to collaborate with Clark, and the ramifications are enormous.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping now this season, this off season,
I love it.
I'm hoping that she'll come to New York and we'll get some work. And she's the reason why the WNBA has become so big. I would love to work with her.
Yeah.
She's an amazing talent. She's changed the game.
She has absolutely changed.
Yeah.
Women's sports.
For sure.
Just
and I love
generally
competitiveness too.
Oh man, I know. She's that's the other piece too, that like it's okay for women to be competitive. You know, like
Sure.
Brickley took a podcast recently and discussed candidly his wish to instruct Clark.
He said
They had been conversing for several years, and they nearly collaborated last off-season. Yet, the time was not favorable.
out.
Clark was expected to be employed at the practice facility for the Indiana Fever. Because young athletes are interested in, teams usually do. They remain in the area, collaborate with team members, and develop chemistry with the company. Brickley honored that choice and didn't bring up the matter. However, following the complete catastrophe that was Clark's season marred by injuries, he hopes she will visit New York this week season and put in some serious effort. This comes at the ideal moment since Clark has to change immediately something about the way she trains. For her, the 2025 season was a nightmare. She only participated in 13 of the whole regular season due to
wounds.
13 games. For someone who was intended to represent the league, who attracted previously unheard of attention and income to the WNBA, which was anticipated to expand on a successful debut season, that's
disastrous.
There was a major issue with how her body was ready and kept up, and it's rather clear that the Fevers, she didn't benefit from the training staff. Let's discuss what truly took place. Given Clark's preparation for this
season,
she slammed into the weight room. In the off-season prior to this one,
she
grew stronger, gained muscle, and looked physically altered depending on the season.
began.
Many people believed that was the appropriate action since she took so severe physical abuse throughout the first year. The opposition was permitted to bash her up with little repercussion from referees, therefore gaining muscle appeared to a sensible answer. However, this is the issue. Gaining muscle without the appropriate training approach, without realizing how that additional mass impacts joint and movement patterns. In fact, stress can make you more prone to injuries. That could have been the case. Clark sustained a groin injury that prevented him from. She missed the most of the season. The groin muscle injuries are common. Imbalances, problems with flexibility, or attempting to use a body to move explosively that was altered too soon.
When
You gain a lot of muscular mass in a brief time, your neurological system, and it takes time for connective tissues to adjust. Should you fail to allow them that time, if you simply dive straight into explosive injuries occur during basketball moves. That is fundamental sports science. Apparently, the training personnel of the Fever either failed to implement or was unaware of appropriately.
here's where someone like
Chris Brickley turns into a priceless asset.
he's
Not merely a strength trainer. He's not merely a trainer of talents. He is a thorough performance expert who is aware of how to maintain the health of top sportsmen and delivering optimal performance for as long as feasible.
take a look at his history.
LeBron James is turning 41 this season, and he continues to play at a high level. At 37, Kevin Durant is still one among the riskiest scorers in basketball. Carmelo Anthony performed up until he was still making 26 at the age of 37 minutes per game during his last campaign. That lifespan isn't achieved by mishap. That is the outcome of clever instruction grounded in science that gives priority to long-term performance and wellness. Brickley's strategy is obviously effective because his customers remain healthy and fruitful far into their 30s, which is incredibly uncommon in the professional basketball. Most players begin to deteriorate early in their 30s. Their bodies shatter down after years of reprimands. However, Brickley's customers appear to get older in reverse. They're staying and playing longer, healthy and preserving the elite performance when their classmates are stepping down or taking on a role. If Clark is able to use that information and approach, she may further her career by years and steer clear of the injury problems. This season, it went awry. The reality that Brickley is assiduously working toward the chance to collaborate with Clark, says A. Much about his perception of her potential.
He
Does not require her name to be credible. His resume is self-evident.
he's
Worked alongside the most well-known celebrities in basketball. He doesn't pursue customers for influence. Consequently, when he appears on a podcast and claims that he would adore working with Clark, that she is the reason why the game has altered. The reason the WNBA has grown so much is sincere admiration from a knowledgeable. When he sees excellence, he understands Clark is unique and aspires to be, assisting her in realizing her full potential. Apparently, some fans are considering this a drawback, which is, I think it's wild. Why would working with what is possibly the greatest trainer in can basketball be anything but enormously favorable? The only justification I can imagine is that individuals don't comprehend Brickley's identity or what he contributes to the table. Or perhaps they're so devoted to protecting the Fever organization that they are unable to acknowledge the Clark was let down by the team's training personnel season. Since, let's face it, they utterly let her down. She entered the season at what was meant to be the height of state, and her body disintegrated following 13 games. That is a lack of planning and administration. As an organization, the Fever entire doesn't engender self-assurance, correct?
right now.
Their healthcare team has been dubious. Their methods of instruction obviously didn't work. Their wound. The reporting was contradictory and ambiguous. All through the season, they appear to possess the necessary resources or knowledge to appropriately assist one of Clark's quality and significance. She requires access to the best resources available, accessible. If those resources aren't available, Indianapolis, then she must leave where they are. It could require training with Brickley in New York for large stretches of the off-season. A fascinating fact from Brickley's his appearance on the podcast is that he also instructs Angel Ree. Some individuals may utilize that as an objective